Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be covering complete Unit 5 in DevOps subject. I will explain each and every topic in detail. And whatever the topics that I am going to cover in this video, I will provide all those topics and the timings in description. Before starting this video, please check in description. I will provide Unit 5 notes in description. You can download from description. Guys, I have uploaded complete DevOps subject tutorials. I will provide that link in description. You can watch from there. If you are watching this video for the first time, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. First I will explain Introduction to Testing. If we are going to release our code frequently, we need to be sure it is good in quality. That is why we need automation testing. Guys, normally in DevOps, at first you need to release basic version of software. After releasing basic version of software, then we need to keep on updating same software again and again. And for every update, definitely we need to test that software. So testing software again and again manually is time taking process. So in order to overcome this problem, we need to do automation testing. Automation testing is nothing but whenever you update your software, automatically system will perform testing, which will save our time. Even though automation test is more beneficial for DevOps, manual testing will also be important. Before we can automate test, we need to perform manual test at least once. This ensures everything is functioning correctly. Guys, normally whenever you develop software, at first we need to perform manual testing on the software. If manual testing is working well, then we need to go for automation testing. So even though automation testing is useful, manual testing is also very important. So whenever you develop software, at first we need to perform manual testing. If your software is functioning well, then you need to go for automation testing. Next one is acceptance testing. Guys, after developing complete software, we need to test that software to check whether it is working correctly as per customer expectations or not. If software is working correctly as per customer expectations, then we will accept the software or else we will reject that software. This is known as acceptance testing. Acceptance testing is very hard to automate and normal developers cannot perform acceptance testing. So it is done by separate team called quality assurance team. That is nothing but testing team. If manual testing is done easily, then automated testing can also be done easily. As a developer, if you store test data correctly in database, then testing will give correct results. So QA team will be happy. Guys, QA team is nothing but testing team. Once testing is successful, then automatically we need to place that code in server. So software will be up to date. If you do these two things, then QA team will be happy. We cannot copy large databases for testing because the databases may contain some personal user information. At that time, we need to remove personal data and we need to select only data that is required for testing. And we need to perform testing only on that selected data. Guys, each and every company is different. So one solution will not work for all companies. A good rule to follow is KISS rule, where KISS stands for keep it simple and stupid. That is nothing but in company, you need to make things as simple as possible. If all things are simple, then you can complete work easily. Next topic is automation of testing, pros and cons. Guys, when we talk about automation testing, all people will get excited because automation testing has many benefits. And the first one is, as computer will automatically perform testing, so software quality will be good. We can complete automation testing in short period of time, so we can release software quickly. And third advantage is, automation testing is less boring when compared to manual testing. Because of these three reasons, many people will prefer automation testing. But in many companies who are handling complex projects, they don't do automation testing. In many complex projects, they will do only manual testing. They don't do automation testing. Whenever we develop any software, then definitely we need to perform testing on that software in order to make sure that software works well. And whereas in DevOps, we need to perform continuous delivery. That is nothing but continuously we need to keep on delivering updated version of software. And whereas manual testing will take a lot of time, that is why we need to prefer automation testing. But there are some problems with automation testing. And the first one is cheap tests have low value. Guys, unit test is nothing but it is small kind of test that will check whether specific part of code is working correctly or not. For example, let us say I developed one website. In that website, I want to check whether the title is NS lectures or not. This is one of the example of unit test. Unit test is also one kind of automated test which is very cheap. But many companies will not perform unit test. They will only perform manual testing because they will think that manual testing finds more bugs. So many companies will skip unit tests. Second one is difficult to test environments. Testing is very easy, but creating setup for testing is very tough. If you want to create systems for testing, then you need to purchase high hardware for the system and you need to select people in order to perform testing. That is nothing but you need to hire testing team, and in order to perform testing, you need to purchase licensed softwares, which is costly. So testing is very easy, but creating system setups for testing is very tough. And third one is constant changes in software. Whenever developer updates software, then immediately we need to perform testing. So this is extra work for automation test. And fourth one is hard to write good test code. Guys, writing good automated test code is very difficult. Guys, in DevOps, if you want to perform automation testing, then you need to write code. It is very tough. But if you know how automation testing works, then it is very easy to write code. So if you have good knowledge on automation testing, then you can easily write code and you can easily catch errors. Next I will explain Selenium introduction and features. Guys, Selenium is one of the famous open source testing software. By using this software, we can test websites. And the Selenium software was developed by Jason Huggins in the year 2004. These are some of the features of Selenium, and the first one is automated testing. Guys, by using Selenium, we can test websites. For example, let us say I developed one website. Now I want to test that website. So for that purpose, I need to write script. Whenever I write script and execute the script, automatically testing will be performed on the website. So Selenium allows you to write scripts that can perform tasks on your website, such as clicking buttons, filling forms, or checking if certain text is visible. This saves our time because there is no need of doing it manually. And second feature of Selenium is cross-browser testing. Guys, Selenium will work in any web browsers like Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari, etc. So you can test your websites on any browsers like Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari, etc. And third feature is support multiple languages. Guys, in order to test websites, at first you need to write script. And you can write this script in any programming language like Java, Python, C#, JavaScript, etc. So in Selenium, you can use different programming languages in order to write script. So any developer can easily use Selenium. And fourth feature is open source and support multiple operating systems. Guys, you can download Selenium software with free of cost in the internet. So many companies and developers are using Selenium, and you can use this Selenium in any operating systems like Windows, Linux, etc. Guys, if you want to perform testing using Selenium, at first you need to install one special driver in your browser. After installing special driver in your browser, you need to open Selenium software, and then you need to write script in order to test your website. And whenever you execute the script, automatically commands are forwarded to the driver which is installed in your browser, and then testing is performed on your website. Guys, by using Selenium, you can perform parallel testing. That is nothing but you can test multiple websites at a time. Guys, I will give an example. For example, I developed a website. Now I want to check whether my website title is NS Lectures or not. For that purpose, I will open Selenium software and then I will write script. By using any programming language like Python, Java or C#, we can write script. Whenever I execute the script, then automatically my special driver, which is installed in browser, will check whether my title is NS Lectures or not. Guys, in DevOps, you can integrate Selenium with some other tools like Jenkins, Docker, etc. so that we can achieve continuous testing. So Selenium automate repetitive tasks and save time. So developers can test websites on different browsers because Selenium will support different browsers. Next I will explain JavaScript testing. Today, many software applications or services that people use have web interfaces, which means these applications are used through web browsers like Chrome or Firefox. Guys, normally any application is connected to web interface. For example, if you consider Amazon app depends on web interface. Whenever you install Amazon app and open that app, automatically that app is connected to web interface. And similarly, Flipkart also depends on web interface. So almost nowadays each and every application depends on web interface. If you want to connect your application with web interface, and if you want to run that web interface, you need to write JavaScript. So you can run web interfaces using JavaScript. So definitely after writing JavaScript, definitely you must do testing on JavaScript. And in order to test JavaScript, there are various kinds of tools available. And the first one is Karma tool. By using this Karma tool, you can perform unit test on JavaScript. where unit test is nothing but it will check small portion of code and it will check whether it is working correctly or not. And second tool is Jasmine tool. This Jasmine tool will check how software behaves in different situations. For example, if 1000 people is accessing, how software behave. If only one person is accessing, how software will behave. It is same like checking if a car drives smoothly on different roads. And third tool is Protector. Guys, by using Protector tool, we can create web applications and as well as we can test that web applications. And by using Protector, we can test applications that are built with AngularJS. So main purpose of Protector is to test applications that are built with AngularJS. Normally you can also use Selenium in order to perform testing on web applications. But Protector is better to test AngularJS applications. This Protector clearly understands AngularJS. So testing will also be very easy. By using tools like Karma, Jasmine and Protector, we can test applications that are built with AngularJS. And we can check whether application is working correctly or not. So this kind of testing is very important in today's software development. Next I will explain testing backend integration points. Guys, backend testing is like checking the parts of your machine that you can't see. When you use a website or app, the front end is what you interact with, like text, button, image, etc. And whereas backend is everything behind the scene that makes front end works, like databases, servers, applications, etc. Guys, I will give one example so that you can clearly understand this definition. For example, let us consider Facebook app or website. Whenever you open Facebook app or website, you can see Facebook image and you can see username, password and login button. So whatever you see, we call it as front end. Here I can see Facebook image, username, password and login button. So we call it as front end. Whenever I enter username, password and then click on login button, automatically I can log in into Facebook account. How it happened? This is because of backend. In backend, I return code. In frontend, whenever I click on login button, automatically my backend code will work. Automatically this code will connect to my Facebook server and then this code will verify whether my username and password is correct or not. For example, I want to upload one image in Facebook. So whenever I click on upload button, automatically in backend my code will work and then this image will be stored in Facebook database. So frontend is nothing but whatever you see, we call it as front end. And in order to make this front end work, you need to write code in backend. Whenever you write code in backend, this code is connected to Facebook server, databases, etc. So testing backend code that is connected to servers, databases, applications, etc. is known as backend testing. So backend testing is like checking the parts of your machine that you can't see. When you use website or app, the front end is what you interact with, like text, button, image, etc. And the backend is everything behind the scene that makes front end work. Example, databases, servers, applications, etc. Backend test is nothing but checking hidden parts of code like databases, servers, APIs, etc. So backend testing ensures that all the hidden parts are working correctly, storing data properly and communicating with each other without any errors. It involves checking databases, servers, APIs to make sure everything functions correctly. By using SOAP method and REST method, we can automate backend testing, where SOAP stands for Simple Object Access Protocol and whereas REST stands for Representation State Transfer. By using these two methods, we can automate backend testing. And these two methods are mainly used to automate backend testing on websites and APIs. Guys, API stands for Application Programming Interface. This is nothing but code. The code that we write in order to connect front-end and backend is known as Application Programming Interface. And there is one tool called SOAP UI tool. By using this tool, we can write and run backend testing. We can run tests step by step and it is very easy to use. These are benefits of SOAP UI and the first one is easy for testers. It is easy to write and run testing. And second advantage is good for developers. Guys, in order to perform testing, there is no need of developers to open SOAP UI main screen. Directly we can open command prompt and then we can perform testing. And also we can connect SOAP UI with CI/CD process. So automatically in CI/CD process testing will take place. And third one is free version. We can download SOAP UI software with free of cost in internet. Guys, this is how SOAP UI will work. Guys, whenever you open SOAP UI software, on one side you can see all kinds of tests. So by seeing all kinds of tests, so directly you can select whatever the test that you want to perform. Either you can select single test or you can also select multiple tests. And whenever you click on start button, automatically testings will be performed and directly you can see result on other side. Guys, whatever the test that you want to perform, you need to select the test and you need to write the script in XML format. So XML format is very easy to understand. So XML is very easy to read, modify and organize. And anytime you can modify that XML script because XML script is very easy to understand. Next I will explain what is test driven development. Shortly we call it as TDD. Test driven development is a way of developing software where you write tests before you write the actual code. It became popular in 1990s because of extreme programming. Guys, I will give an example so that you can clearly understand what is test driven development. For example, I want to develop software. So at first what I will do? At first I will develop software. After developing software, then I will develop testing code in order to perform testing. But test driven development is completely opposite. At first we need to develop test code in order to perform testing on software. After completely developing test scripts, then you need to start developing your software. So test driven development is nothing but before developing actual software, at first you need to develop test code in order to perform various kinds of testings. And this method is popular because of extreme programming, which was introduced in 1990s. How TDD works? This is first step. Write the test first. At first you need to understand all requirements and features of new software. Then you need to start writing test code that need to be performed on your code. Before developing any software, at first you need to understand features of that software, like how software must look, how software must behave, etc. And then you need to develop test code in order to perform testing on your software. Second one is check the test fails. Initially I did not write code to develop my software. So whenever I perform testing, my test must fail. This is expected because there is no code to pass your test. Guys, after writing complete test code, now you need to start developing your software. I will not write any code to develop software. Just I will save my file. So whenever I perform testing on my file, automatically my testing will fail because I did not written any code to develop my software. So after writing complete test code, at first you need to perform testing on initial software and you need to check whether your software will fail or not. Definitely your software will fail because I did not written any code. And third step is write the code. There is no need of developing complete software. Just you need to develop software with only basic features and then you need to perform testing on your software. So here your software must pass. And fourth one is run all tests. Guys, after developing complete software, you need to perform various kinds of testings on the software. If all kinds of testings are passed, then your testing is successful. And fifth step is improve the code. We also call this step as refactoring. In this step, we will arrange code in proper format and also we will remove unnecessary files in the software. So TDD helps you to understand what the software should do before starting the code. It also creates various kinds of testings to make sure everything works correctly. And this test driven development is very much useful in continuous integration and continuous deployment because frequently we will keep on releasing new version of software. At that time this method is useful. Next I will explain what is REPL driven development. Guys, REPL stands for read, eval, print loop. This REPL is software. By using this software you can write and test your code using programming languages like Lisp, Python, Ruby, JavaScript. In any of this programming language you can write code in order to perform testing. In this software you can write code, immediately run and test it. Guys, by using this software you can write code in order to perform testing. Immediately you can execute the testing code and you can see results. So this software allows quick testing and feedback. Guys, this is how REPL works. And the first one is write small function. For example, let us say I want to develop Kali website. So at first I will create one simple function in order to create user login form in that Kali website. So at first I will create simple function in order to create login form in that website. And this function must be independent. And this function must not depend on any part of the code. This function must be independent. And second step is immediate testing. After writing specific part of code, immediately open REPL software and then you need to perform testing on that function. And you can write code in any programming language like Python, Ruby, JavaScript, etc. And immediately you can see results. So if there is any problem with that code, you can easily fix it. This is how REPL works. Guys, this REPL is completely different from test-driven development. Whereas in test-driven development, at first we will write testing code. After writing testing code, we will create software. But whereas in REPL, we will write test code simultaneously. That means we will develop some part of code by creating independent function and then we will perform testing. So this method is very easy for developers. And you can also combine REPL with unit test. That is nothing but you can perform unit test for your independent function. whereas unit test will check whether certain part of code is working correctly or not. These are benefits of REPL, and the first one is quick feedback. Guys, whenever you develop certain function, immediately you can perform testing and you can see feedback immediately. So if there is any problem, you can easily fix it. And second one is simplicity. As you are not developing complete software at a time, if you develop complete software at a time, then testing is very tough. But here we are developing only some part of code by creating independent function. So which is very easy and simple. And third one is enhanced learning. Guys, there is no need of any complex setup for testing. Directly you can open REPL software and then you can perform testing. As we will learn testing by using various kinds of programming languages like Python, JavaScript, etc. REPL driven development is an effective approach, especially for those new to programming. It allows you to write clear and independent functions and allows for immediate testing. So it is very easy strategy for software development process. Next I will explain what are deployment systems. A deployment system in DevOps is a tool or set of tools that automatically move new software from the developer's computer to the production server. Once the software is placed on the production server, all users can access it. Guys, tool and software both are same. So deployment system is nothing but it is a software. Either it can be single software or multiple softwares. For example, I am developer. I created software in my system. Now what I want to do is, I want to place this software on server. So by using deployment system software, we can place our software on production server. Once if we place our software on production server, all users can access that application. For example, if you consider Facebook, all users can access Facebook application because that Facebook application is present on production server. For example, if you consider Amazon website, all users can access Amazon website because that Amazon website is present on production server. So whenever you place your application on production server, all users can access that application. For example, I am not using deployment system software. If you don't use deployment system software, then we need to place our software manually on production server. Placing our software manually on production server is very tough. It may cause errors and it will take a lot of time. That is why we need to use deployment system software in order to place our applications automatically on production server. And there are so many deployment system softwares because placing our software manually on server is very tough. That is why there are so many deployment systems. By using these deployment systems, we can automatically place our application on servers. For example, let us say I created one application. That application contains mainly three parts. One is web server, it will manage website request, and next one is application server, it runs main program, and next one is database server, it stores data. Now what I want to do is, instead of creating three different servers in order to handle my application, what I will do is, I will create only one single server in order to handle all these operations. And that too, whatever the software that I created, I want to update the software only once in a year. So as there is only one single server in order to manage all these operations, and that too I want to update software only once in a year, so placing our software manually on server is easy. But still we don't place our software manually on server because manual work is boring and manual work can lead to mistakes. That is why we don't place our software manually on server. So we use deployment systems in order to place our software automatically on server. Deployment systems will automatically configure our server based on software and then it will place that software automatically on server. Guys, in real life, in big companies, there are so many servers and applications. So we will use different kinds of methods in order to update servers and applications. We can run our application on physical server, or we can run our application on virtual server, or we can also run our application in a container. If you want to run your application on physical server, then you need to use one type of deployment system software, and if you want to run your application on virtual machine, then you need to use other type of deployment system software. So based on servers, you need to choose deployment system softwares. Guys, deployment system will perform following duties, and the first one is deployment system will place our application automatically on server, and deployment system can automatically update our software, and deployment system can automatically configure our server in order to run our application. These are three important duties that deployment system will follow. Next I will explain what are virtualization stacks. But before that you need to know what is virtualization. Virtualization makes you create virtual computers called virtual machines instead of your real computers. These virtual machines acts like real computers with their own virtual hardware like CPUs and network cards. Guys, I will give an example so that you can clearly understand what is virtualization. For example, I am developer. I developed one software. Now I want to test whether this software is working in Windows operating system, Linux operating system, and as well as Mac operating system. But present I am using only Windows operating system, so I can test my software in Windows. But I don't have Linux operating system and Mac operating system. And purchasing Linux system and Mac system is costly. At the time what we can do is, in our Windows system itself, we need to install virtualization software. And in this virtualization software, we can install Linux operating system and as well as we can install Mac operating system. And also you can assign hardware to operating systems like 1 GB RAM, 500 GB hard disk, etc. And whatever the operating systems that you install in this virtualization software, these operating systems will work same like real systems. So instead of purchasing two different systems, by using virtualization software, we can install various kinds of operating systems in our existing system. Guys, now we call this Linux operating system and Mac operating system as virtual machines because they are created virtually in your existing system. Guys, there are so many virtualization softwares like VMware, VirtualBox, Hyper-V, etc. You can install these softwares and you can use. You can use virtualization to test different types of hardwares on your computer. For example, you can test Android phone on your computer using tool like QEMU to test mobile apps. Guys, in your computer, you can install tool called QEMU. After installing this tool, you can connect Android mobile to your computer and you can test various kinds of mobile apps in this tool. So by using virtualization software, you can also test hardwares like smartphones. This is use of virtualization. Imagine you have a big computer that can run many programs. Virtualization will create separate many computers inside your big computer. If one many computer has problem or uses much power, it won't affect other many computers. So even if one many computer don't work properly, it will not affect other many computers. Problem in Linux will not affect Mac. For example, your big computer is powerful with 64 cores, like having 64 small CPUs. You can create virtual machine that uses only 2 cores out of 64 cores. If this virtual machine has issues, only those 2 cores are affected, not the entire big computer. For example, let us say your Windows computer is 64 cores. That is nothing but it is like 64 small CPUs. So out of the 64, I can create Linux operating system only by using 2 cores. So if there is any problem, only 2 cores will be affected out of 64 cores. So entire system will not get affected. Guys, hypervisor is nothing but it is special program. By using this program, we can create and as well as we can manage virtual machines. This hypervisor will share computer resources like CPUs, memories, etc. among various kinds of virtual machines. Guys, there are two types of hypervisors and the first one is bare metal hypervisor and next one is hosted hypervisor. Guys, bare metal hypervisor runs directly on computer hardware. It does not need any operating system. Example, VMware ESX. This is one of the software. There is no need of installing any operating system. Directly you can connect hardware and you can use. And next one is hosted hypervisors. In this you need operating systems. Example is KVM software, which we will use on Linux. Guys, these are some of the popular virtualization tools. And the first one is VMware. Guys, you can run VMware software on desktops and as well as you can run it in servers. And another software is VMware ESX. You can run this software directly on hardware. There is no need of installing any operating systems. And second one is KVM, where KVM stands for kernel based virtual machine. You can use this software on Linux operating systems. This is free of cost. And next one is Xen. By using this software, you can run various kinds of operating systems for better performance. And last one is VirtualBox. This is software developed by Oracle company. Mainly software developers will use this software in order to test softwares on different operating systems. Guys, there is no need of writing any code in order to use virtual machines because you can automate virtual machines with APIs. By using APIs, we can manage virtual machines automatically. One popular tool is LibVirt. And you can connect this tool with various other tools like KVM, Xen, etc. This topic is executing code on the client. Guys, by using some tools, you can directly run commands on the servers and then you can manage servers. For example, I want to check how many files are working in my server. So directly I can use these tools and I can run commands on server in order to check how many files are working. Puppet is one of the popular tool used by IT in order to set up and manage servers. And next one is mCollective. You can use this tool along with Puppet tool. By using this tool, you can run commands on multiple servers at a time. So by running single command, you can collect information from all servers. These tools make it easy to run commands on many servers at the same time, which can be useful to perform various kinds of operations. Next I will explain what is Puppet Master and what are Puppet agents. Guys, Puppet is nothing but it is a software. This software is used by many big companies in order to set up servers and in order to update servers. There are two main components in Puppet software, and the first one is Puppet Master and next is Puppet agents. Guys, Puppet Master is nothing but it is a central server. This Puppet Master will send server updates to Puppet agents. And whereas Puppet agents are individual servers that are connected to Puppet Master, so whenever Puppet Master sends updates to Puppet agents, all Puppet agents will install those updates in their servers. Guys, each server runs many softwares. So it is important to keep our server up to date. And we can keep our server up to date by using Puppet software. Guys, this is Puppet architecture. Guys, DevOps engineer will set up updates in Puppet Master. So Puppet Master is main server. And whereas Puppet agents are individual servers, Puppet Master will send server updates to Puppet agents. And all agents will install those updates. And Puppet Master and Puppet agents are connected to each other by using security socket layer. Next I will explain what is Ansible. Ansible is a tool that helps manage and deploy softwares to multiple servers in a simple way. Unlike some other tools, Ansible don't need special software running on each server to manage servers. Instead, Ansible connects to the servers using SSH and runs command to set them. You only need to install Ansible on the main control machine. Yes, Ansible is nothing but it is a software. By using this software, you can place your software on multiple servers at a time. And also you can manage softwares on multiple servers at a time. And there is no need of installing Ansible on each and every server. Just you need to install Ansible software on main server. And by using this main server, you can update software on all servers at a time. Guys, we call each server as node. And these nodes are connected to main server by using SSH. So there is no need of installing Ansible on each and every server. Just you need to install Ansible on main server and you can connect the main servers with remaining servers by using SSH. And you can update and deploy software on multiple servers at a time. These are some of the important points about Ansible. And the first one is no extra software needed. I already said before, there is no need of installing Ansible software on each and every server. Just you need to install Ansible software on main server. And this main server is connected to all other servers using SSH. So next point is Ansible uses SSH. There is no need of installing Ansible software on each and every server, but you need to install Python programming on each and every server. And any version of Python is okay. And speed of Ansible software is less when compared to all other softwares. This is how Ansible works. Ansible uses special files called playbooks to define what you want to do on servers. These playbooks are written in a straightforward language called YAML. Guys, in main server, you need to create special files called playbooks in order to perform operations on all servers. And we are creating these playbooks using programming language called YAML. For example, let us say, I want to check how many servers are working. So for that purpose, I will create one playbook using YAML language. And this playbook is executed in all servers. So I can clearly check how many servers are working. Next I will explain what is Chef. Guys, Chef is same like Ansible. By using this Chef software, we can manage and deploy softwares on multiple servers. That is nothing but we can place software on multiple servers at a time. And as well as we can perform various operations on servers at a time. Like we can update software, modify software, etc. In Chef software, you need to use Ruby programming language in order to set up servers. This is how Chef works. You need to know what are recipes and cookbooks. Guys, in Chef, you need to create files in order to perform various operations on servers. And we call these files as recipes. And if you place all these files in one single folder, then we call it as cookbook. So Chef uses files called recipes to define what should be installed and configured on your servers. A collection of recipes is called cookbook. Next, you need to know what is Chef server. Guys, Chef server is central server. In this central server, we will place complete configuration data and as well as we will place various kinds of cookbooks. And we will store all these files in organized format. Guys, nodes are nothing but individual servers other than main server. Next, what is Chef client? Guys, Chef client is nothing but it is a program. Whenever you execute this program, you can check which server need to be configured. And by using Chef software, we can automate server setups and also we can verify all servers are configured correctly or not. And this complete work is automated. There is no need of doing it manually. Guys, this is Chef architecture. Workstation is nothing but it is a computer. In this workstation, administrators will create cookbooks, where cookbooks contain various kinds of files that will perform various operations on servers. And they will upload that cookbooks on Chef server. So Chef server is nothing but it is a place where all kinds of cookbooks and as well as configuration data is stored in organized format. So from workstation, whenever cookbooks are uploaded in Chef server, automatically that code is executed, operations are performed on nodes. So nodes are individual servers that are managed by Chef server and each node runs Chef client for updates. Next I will explain what is Salt Stack. Guys, Salt Stack is a software. By using this software, we can manage and as well as we can control multiple servers at a time. There will be one central server called Salt Master. This Salt Master will send instructions in order to perform various operations on remaining servers. We call all remaining individual servers as Salt Minions. In order to perform operations on Salt Minions, we will send instructions in the form of files. We call these files as state files. By using this software, we can automate server setups and configurations and as well as we can manage servers. And we can perform these operations at a time to all servers.